Well, howdy there, folks. This is Justin, as you know. After all, my name is in the channel. And it's Friday, and you haven't seen my Q&A video yet because this is it. And I haven't received any questions on YouTube, but I did post on Facebook, and a couple of my friends sent me questions. So, I'll run through those. So, first we'll start with Sarah. She asks me, what is my favorite classic brick shape? Honestly, it would probably be the 2x4 brick because that is one of the original starting points, and it it's the backbone of so many things. It's a good, solid piece. Yes, it hurts if you step on it, especially new ones, but it's it's good. Probably follow up is the 1x4 brick. I know, I'm very basic and boring. But when you build big, like I do, and don't mind having heavy builds, they come in handy, and they can make for strong builds. So her second question is, what is my favorite unique brick shape? Now, no brick is unique because they don't ever just make one of it. But I would have to say it's not a single piece. It's actually, you know what? Let me show you. It's the hinge piece. Oh yeah, I forgot. I have things in here. Is that everything? Yeah, that's everything. Okay. It's these. This 1x4 with connectors to this, what's actually a 4x4 plate, but there's only three 3x4 studs on top. So, and it's a thing of beauty. It is one of my long-time favorite pieces, and I don't know. It's simple, yet it works, and now they don't want to go in. Go in there, Forstman. Good enough. So there's that. I mean, I like I like a lot of pieces, but those at the moment would have to be, I would say are my two favorites. So thank you, Sarah. I appreciate your questions. Feel free to send me more. You know how to contact me. And now let's move on to Lucas. Um, he asked me, do I remember my first set? I don't remember my first set, but I can tell you the first set that I do recall. Or, well, I can tell you some of the first sets that I do recall having. They were classic space sets. And But yeah, one of the very first sets that I remember is the uh, the modular space transport Lego set 6892. It was released in 1986, and I plan on building it for a Throwback Thursday eventually. But also some of the other first sets that I recall are well, going back to Throwback Thursday, the Super Tow Truck. I don't remember ever building that really before, but I know I must have. So maybe that's maybe I had that before I got the modular space transport. So, but I was a military kid growing up, and where I remember my earliest memory of a Lego set is when we were stationed on Guam, which was from the late fall, early winter of 1986 to January of 1989. So I had just turned 6 when we moved there, and so I know that, well, it's possible that that Christmas was when I got the modular space transport. Um, I would ask my mother, but she doesn't. She doesn't. I never really bothered keeping track of when or specifically where I got certain toys. She probably doesn't even remember that I had two. Uh, my God, are you fucking kidding me? But yeah, so she probably doesn't. My mother probably doesn't even remember that I, at one point, she had gotten me two of the mask uh, mobile armor strike command. I believe is what it was called. The uh, the Boulder Hill playsets. I had two of them at one point. Um, and I remember one of them she sold at essentially a community yard sale when we were when we were in the process of paring down items uh, to move from Guam to North Dakota. And the second one disappeared in the move from North Dakota to San Antonio, Texas. So um, that move of hers happened while I was spending 6 months in California with my dad because there were complications to my brother's birth. Anyways, so yeah, that's not actually a question that has been asked of me, but this is me oversharing. Anyways, so yeah, I don't remember my first set, but one of the first sets that I one of the some of the first sets that I do remember are those space sets from 1986 to 1987. Some of which you have seen on Throwback Thursday builds. Um, I know I know I have some city ones. There in particular, there's a city set. Let me look it up real quick. Let's see here, Lego. So I know, again, I remember having it, but I don't remember when I got it or if it was my first set. But I have set 6604 Formula One Racer from 1985. And and why am I not, bringing up pictures of all of this stuff as I'm talking about it? Because the machine I'm on, that I'm recording on, for whatever reason, it doesn't really like to run a whole lot of simultaneous processes. It's very annoying, but it works. It's my webcam. It has my webcam, so and my phone. It doesn't. It actually produces lower quality video than my laptop does. Go figure. So I'm bringing stuff up on my other screen, on my other computer over here. See? Other computer. Anyways, I hope nobody just got motion sickness. Anyways, but yeah, so that was one of them. But there's one in particular that I'm looking for. It is not that. Not that. Come on. Where are you? There's a set that came with I believe it was an 8 by 16 gray base plate, and on it you built a little. Here we are. The Cycle Fix-It Shop, set 6699 from 1987. I must have. I appear to have acquired a lot of sets from 1987, but nothing recent. Uh, so yeah, it was one of those fun ones, and I remember being able to actually put it on the side of one of the road plates. Take it off of the little plate that it came with, and building it actually on the side of the road plate. So that's nice. Let's see here. His next question: what was the set that got away? I.e., I wanted but never got to own it, at least as a kid. And there we have the grandfather clock that belonged to my Granny. Grandma was dad's side, Granny's mom's side. Anyways, it would have to be uh, for city stuff, an airport, a police station, a hospital, and big boats with docks. So those are city things that I wanted. Um, I never really got any of the big space stuff uh, in the 80s. The biggest space thing I probably ever got was Space Station Xenon, which was in the early to mid 90s. I'm not going to bother looking that up right now, but it was it also came with a base plate. I believe it was a 32 by 32 gray. Anyways, um, more recently speaking, there's a lot of stuff that I would love to have that came out during my dark age, my 20-year dark age. Specifically, the Shield helicarrier, not the new one with MODOK, but the old one that is massive. I would I would love to have that. Um, I know this is sacrilege, but I considered buying a Lepin version of it, but never did. So, um, yeah, I know. Like I said, sacrilege. But anyways, so let's see here. His next question is, what cool set did you get to work with that a friend owned? Um, I, growing up, with the exception of Transformers and G.I. Joes, I didn't really play much with other kids. Again, I was a military kid, and I found that there's generally two types of military kids: those who adjust well to the new duty stations and make friends quick and easy, and continue to be like that, and then the ones who are like me, who start off like that, but at a certain point they get stuck in a mindset that, oh well, I'll be moving soon, so why bother making friends? I can entertain myself. Um, and for me, that stage really kicked in the probably around 1990. So when I was around the time I turned 10, um, was when I was really started becoming independent and just entertaining myself. We had a basement there in base housing, and a good portion of it a good portion of it was my play area. So I'd set out all of my base plates, my road plates, and that kind of stuff, and I'd build stuff, and I would play with my Lego down there. Play with my GI Joe down there. Play with my Transformers, my GoBots. Yes, I have Transformers and GoBots. I still have them. Minot, North Dakota, Minot Air Force Base was where we were stationed, and that's also where I discovered Ninja Turtles. Because I don't remember if it was, it might have been the USA Network back when they had the USA Cartoon Express, which great cartoons there. I loved those. They even had the animated Highlander cartoon. That was it. The story consistency was not a thing because it was set in like the far future, but the Kurgan was still around. And as anybody who's seen the first Highlander movie knows that he dies. Spoiler for like a 35-year-old movie. Um, Also, the Titanic sinks. Spoiler for history. Anyways, sorry. When I get to rambling, I kind of go off the rails sometimes. But yeah, no, I hate to say it, but I don't really remember. I remember, okay, the one major memory I had, the one memory that I can recall of playing Lego with friends was on Guam. There was a neighbor kid, and he and I used to play Lego, and at some point he was I don't know how much older than me, just like 2-3 years older than me, and he got into the house there on base housing, and he stole some stuff. Some of which were my Lego pieces. Some of my Lego pieces. Um, where did I put it? There's one set that I've been collecting that I. Hold on. Where did I put that? Red light. Aha. This set right here. This set right here. It is Lego set 6849. And this big molded piece right here with the old space symbol, the space logo on it, that is one of the pieces that he stole. Wow. Sorry about that blinding light, folks. Yeah, I need to invest in some actual good lighting for this room. But yeah, this is another one of those sets that is from like 1986 or 1987, and it's incomplete because it's missing that one piece, and I've looked it up, and it is not cheap. Or at least not it's it's not in a price range that I'm willing to pay right now. So unfortunately, this set right here is just going to get to stay bagged up because it's not getting built anytime soon. So yeah, my memory of Lego with friends is somebody stealing from me. Um, yeah, and I mean, there's enough of an age range between my brother and I that we never really played Lego together. Uh, when he started getting into the Lego, I was getting out of it, and as I've mentioned in at least one previous video, if it didn't get cut, I don't remember now. He got into my stuff and got things mixed in together, and so one of the things that I'm doing is I'm sorting through Lego, and I'm trying to get him to figure out some of the sets that he had, so that I can sort the pieces out and assemble them for him and give him his Lego back, so that his Lego and my Lego are separated, so that we each have our own stuff. But that's okay. He's he's super into video games now and has been for 20 years, 20 years or so. Yeah, it's my fault he got into video games because there for a time I was super into video games. But that was also before I got into Dungeons and Dragons and the transition into Pathfinder, and now I'm creating my own weird Quasimodo Frankenstein monster type hybrid system. But that's not Lego related. Anyways, so let's see here. Lucas's next question is favorite Lego memory from school. I don't really have any. Did I ever use my bricks for a project or similar? No. Um, no, I didn't. Sorry. Um, yeah, no, I didn't. Like I said, I was one of those kids that at a certain point I stopped really trying to make friends. So, and it's that's just yeah. It wasn't really until I entered my mid-20s that I started really socializing again as well. Um, I had a hard time understanding, conversational, relational boundaries and that kind of stuff. Um, I mean, I'm sure there's something wrong in here, but I have never been, from what I recall, and I've looked back in my medical records. Yes, I have my actual physical medical records. Another side effect of moving around so much. I mean, I went to 11 different schools from kindergarten to high school graduation. I went to, counting these 6 months that I was homeschooled because I was stupid and got in trouble. I went to 5 different high schools. Um, so, yeah, I people sometimes people ask me where I'm from. My answer is nowhere. I've just lived some places. I have no home really. The longest I have lived continuously in any one house is the place we're in right now, and it's a rental. The longest I have continuously lived in any one state is Washington State, and actually, in about a week, I believe it'll tie the time that I was in Arkansas. Um, as of the time of this recording. So yeah, but um, so yeah, I guess I mean that's all the questions that Sarah and Lucas have specifically sent me, including a lot of questions that I didn't really, that weren't presented to me that they boiled up from within my brain. Um, some of my okay, some of my favorite themes. Um, Space Police 1, Blacktron 2, Castle in general, uh, those are probably, yeah, those are my favorite old themes. Space Police, Blacktron 2, and Anything and Everything Castle, which includes Forest Men, all the different night varieties and that kind of stuff, um, including the stuff that got into like the Fright Nights, which was getting. I mean, I think they were called Fright Nights. Anyways, whatever. Um, but and then in today's stuff, in today's themes, overall number one is Creator 3-in-1. I mean, it's not really a theme, but at the same time, it is. It's a set of blocks that with instructions that can be built in three different ways. You can't have all three models built at one time unless you buy three sets. There are some of them that I have bought that I have bought duplicates of. So, but yeah, the Creator 3-in-1 overall right now is my number one favorite theme of the currently available themes, followed by Marvel, which includes the Spider-Man stuff, Marvel Avengers, Marvel Spider-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, the Marvel stuff, um, followed by Ninjago, because I've always had an interest in uh, Far East Asian type things. I would say the Orient, but we're not supposed to use that term anymore. I don't remember when that went out of style. But the Orient, China, Japan, Korea, that kind of stuff. Um, and then tied are a couple themes that are now retired: Hidden Side and the Lego Movie 2. Um, I wish I had exited my dark age when the first Lego movie came out, so I could have gotten Benny's big spaceship. That's another set that I would love to have. But again, I've looked at the prices on that thing, and yeah, I can't justify the expense right now. Especially considering I have a car payment. So once I get that taken care of, well, in a way, I have two car payments because I'm still paying off the first car. Anyways, whatever. The previous car. So I'm paying off the previous car and I'm paying on the current car. Yet how am I still buying all this Lego? I shouldn't be buying all this Lego. I should be buying no Lego and I should be paying my bills. Why am I doing this? Instead of recording this, I should be working on a project for one of my patrons, one of my Pathfinder patrons. Pathfinder role-playing game as published by Paizo Publishing Inc. Excuse me, by Paizo Inc., who are located about an hour and a half, depending on traffic, northeast of where I am right now. Um, yeah, yeah. I actually moved to Washington years ago with the dream of working for Paizo. It was a few years ago that I realized I had given up on that dream because I'm just not fast enough. Uh, they started off as a magazine publishing company, and they I don't think they work quite at that pace anymore, but they still work at a higher pace than I work. So it's another reason I've stopped really freelancing for other companies because I I'm unreliable. I am not a good investment. So, um, but you're not here for tabletop RPG talk. You're here for Lego talk. So, yeah. I have a feeling that if I could afford the stuff, Monkey Kid would probably be between Ninjago and Hidden Side and the Lego Movie 2. Because again, Whereas Ninjago is more Japanese, Monkey Kid is based on Chinese mythology, if I recall correctly. But yeah, and Harry Potter is probably after Hidden Side, and uh, yeah, yeah. Star Wars is probably sixth or seventh in line, because yeah, I like Star Wars. I enjoy the movies. I enjoy the TV shows. But if there was a Star Trek theme for Lego, that would be probably probably be tied with Marvel. Anyways, um, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this and you haven't already, I'd appreciate a like and subscribe. Leave me any comments you have down below, along with any questions you have for the Q&A video for November. And I hope you have yourselves a wonderful day. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.